What's up everybody, Wilson XCI, back with another video, and today we're racing for the first time online at Watkins Glen. And this is one of the newest tracks as part of the US DLC track pack map. That's hard to say. But yeah, this track is very quick, lots of great racing, and some tricky braking points. A lot of times I think you end up braking quite a bit later than you might normally think you would compared to most tracks, but it's quickly become, I think, my favorite track. It's really fun. But right now, I'm currently driving my fastest lap on the qualifying session, and it actually ends up being the quickest lap that I put in on this track so far. But you know, one of the other things that I wanted to bring up on this video is how helpful it is, especially in public lobbies, how helpful it is to be a consistent driver. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be, you know, on the dot, lap after lap, just as quick, but something as little as just staying on the track for the whole race, and generally we put in a decent pace, and it'll get you a really, you know, pretty far. There's just so many drivers that are all over the place in these public lobbies, and accidents happen a lot, and it's very easy to take advantage of those drivers that make those mistakes, as long as you're not doing the same things. I mean, it's you know, there's nothing magical about what I just said, but it helps. We get a 1:46.5 on this. Again, the fastest lap that I've actually managed to put in on this track in this game. But here we are in the lineup. We're good enough for P13 at the start. So about halfway down in the pack. Total of 29 drivers. But in these videos I decided to, or in this video in particular, I decided to put a extra screen here on the top right of, you know, different view to give you guys more to look at. So if you guys enjoy that view on here, just let me know, and I'll definitely add it into the other videos in the future. But we get on the straight here, get a little bit behind there. Or actually, I don't know if there's a car missing there or not, but regardless, we're off and away as we cross the finish line right here on our first lap. And one thing that I always think that it's important for anybody at my skill level, or pretty much anything in general, is just get through the first turn. You don't need to be making overtakes. But yeah, as we get to that first turn, that Porsche just came across, and I didn't feel any contact in the race of when he came out, but he must have brushed me a little bit. I'm not sure if he lost stability of his car or something, but he just came flying across over me, and not much I can do. But track is still packed, and we're going in the chicane here, and it's... I look like an idiot. Let's be honest. That didn't look good. It wasn't good. And yeah, I just tensed up. I was driving through, I was driving up on this chicane here, and I was like, he's not going to do it, is he? He's not going to want to go to the side-by-side, is he? He does. And that's not necessarily... You know, it's not that you can't do that, but I just mishandled that situation so bad, and so did I do with this turn. Broke way too late. Traction is just not there. Might have to do with the fact that I just spun out and the tires are hot. But we reel it in, get going, past the Ferrari on the side, and we're up to 26th place now. But yeah, going back to that accident, you know, I'm really happy for two things. I didn't ruin the guy's race that I touched. He's still doing just fine. I looked at the replay, no damage, and he carried on just fine. And B, I'm really happy that I didn't sustain any damage there. So with no damage done and a full race ahead of me, because this is only the first lap of the race, I've got time to make things up. So let's see where we can go and what we can make of ourselves. Got a full race. So going back to that accident in the chicane, yeah, I just really tensed up, and really just, in my mind, there was no way this guy was going to give me room. you know, he's already going to take me onto the chicane. And when I looked back at the replay, he actually gave me plenty of space, and I just took a very, very poor line through the chicane and ultimately dumped myself in the back of the field. But we skip a little bit forward here. There's not much going on in between now and then. Just pretty much up for most of a lap. But we can finally see the group ahead of us. We're closing in on players. And we've actually coming up on an accident here. And we just got to take this slowly through. Get through unscathed, and we do. So lots of free positions to take. I did jump up a few positions on this lap from players that basically called it a race from other accidents, or just went into pit to fix, you know, damages. You know, getting damage on your car, especially in the McLarens, really just hurt the downforce and the aero, so you're just losing all sorts of pace. And I think a lot of the cars that we pass in this track are unfortunately struggling from damage. As you can see, the straight line is catching this other McLaren, same car as mine. Clearly, I think he's got some damage. Actually, if you can see on the other camera there, you can see his hood, I think, is just a little bit popped up. But yeah, I don't know if he's struggling from downforce right there, but yeah, he went a little wide early and couldn't get on the throttle, and I was able to make an easy overtake. Come in a little deep on that turn, but we keep the pace, and a white McLaren is it's an afterthought for right now. So going through another one of the turns with quite a late braking point. One that took me a little while to get comfortable with. But as we carry on, we're looking at P16 ahead of us. Only 3 seconds ahead, and the gap is shrinking. But as you can see, we're already in P17, so we're up 10 positions from when we took a spin in the chicane. And again, all this is just because I'm managing my race well. I'm being consistent. I'm staying on the track. I'm no longer making, you know, I'm not making any more mistakes. I'm avoiding accidents. And I'm being careful around other drivers and assuming that they're no more skilled than I am. So that, you know, you're always prepared, or hopefully always prepared, if they're to make some sort of mistake. But yeah, we're definitely catching P16. Lost a little bit of time, you know, during the first turn there on this lap. But as you can see, down to 2.6 seconds behind, and it's closing quickly. My guess is he may have damage as well, because I caught him a lot on the straight there, and I am running a little bit better of a lap time now that I'm not stuck behind another car that's slower. And I think on the overhead camera, I think I could see his hood was a little bit popped up on the Audi. So, you know, we're already under 2 seconds now, and pretty much just half a lap. So we're going to catch this guy, and just got to make sure that we get around him safe, cleanly. But, you know, we are already up a full second from the last lap. So if we can manage to keep in the mid 147, 147.5, around there, give or take a few tenths of a second, you know, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. But just so thankful that the car didn't get any damage from earlier on the first lap. Kind of see the bottom section of the chat here and there every now and then. You can tell that, you know, there's some anger and frustration, and that there are players dropping out like flies. We're already in P15, and we didn't actually make a physical pass on any car that we're racing right now, and that's because there are two more drivers in the pits, either done for their race or going in for repairs. So lots of freebies. Let's see how close we can get to this Audi on the straight. We caught him with a decent amount of we got a decent amount of time on him last lap, and sure enough, I think we have a little bit of a better entry into the chicane here, and we're right up on him now. So we're going to try to make a run on the inside. He goes way wide. And let's see if we can carry the speeder on the outside. He goes a little wide, so unfortunately I have to bail a little bit on trying to make that maneuver. But Porsche ahead of us also seems to make a mistake. A car exits also on the right. That looked like maybe a back marker. Didn't get in position from it. But I did go on the outside of this Porsche and carry enough speed, and we're through. Very satisfying pass there from the outside. Again, as we go through another turn here, this turn you can actually carry so much space just because there's so much extra track to use on the outside. So another place that I think a lot of drivers such as myself with not a lot of experience, there's a lot of time to gain on that type of turn. Some decent amount of practice that I put in to start nailing that down a little bit. But we get a good run on the Audi here. And we know our straight line is doing better because we're not a damaged car unlike him. So we're going to try to get into the inside here, and just a little bit of contact there, but we're okay. I think that was an appropriate move. Not the contact, but the you know, a slight, I don't know if you call that a dive bomb or not, but either way, we get the job done. And there was another car there in the chicane. Not sure what happened there, but gained another free position, and we're in P12 now. And we've got 6 minutes to go on this race. As you could see a little bit ago, we did fast forward after I passed the Audi. Not a lot happening between then and now, but obviously we can see a group of cars ahead of us, and with the pace that we're doing, that we're carrying, we're making time on a lot of these drivers ahead. A lot of these drivers, again, damaged, unlike us, so there's a lot of things going for us, or for myself, in this race. And let's see if we can get there with 5.5 minutes left. But looking up at the top left corner there, we're running some decent laps. Really getting in a groove there, running the low 147s. Just showing that I continue to be consistent on here, and the more time I'm able to stay on track and not make mistakes, the more time that other people are doing so, and I'm just getting a lot of freebies here. But you know, one thing to note here is, you know, we're in P11 now. We're 2 spots up from where we started, so this really has been a very satisfying, almost redemption sort of race here. Not redemption, but I'd say recovery. But we've recovered very well, and finishing where I am right now, I wouldn't be upset at that at all. So it looks like we're about 2 seconds off of Gilligan, also in one of the McLarens. But we're closing time, and what I really want to see right now is I want to see that group of cars get kind of bunched up and fighting for position, just to kind of slow them down and give me a chance to catch up, make some moves. There's definitely a decent amount of time left. We got a few laps worth of time left in this race, and we can easily get under the top 10. Just got to keep driving the way we are. Now you can see the McLaren. You're gonna notice in these next few laps, he's struggling a lot. He tends to go pretty deep into the turns. I don't know if he's lost grip or if he's lost downforce from damage, but he's definitely kind of on a little bit of a struggle here. But yeah, just taking, you know, turns very deeply. But we're gonna get a great run out of the final turn here onto the finish line straight. I'm thinking about a move on the inside, just with the pace that we're having, but decided to bail out just a little too late for that, and unfortunately kind of take myself off of a good line, and we're just going to lose just a little bit and stay behind him. But I think with this pace, I think we've got a good chance at catching him, and Hopefully something happens up ahead. Those guys seem to be pulling away a little bit, so maybe just work with this guy and not challenge him too much. If we both can have the pace, we can both catch these guys. But the more I fight this guy, there's a good chance that we're just not going to make up the time we want to get with that group ahead. Again, trying to make a good entry into this turn and do a decent job here. The other McLaren gets a good run out. But it looks like we're kind of catching those guys ahead now. They might be fighting for a spot. But we definitely want to keep that coming. Just noticing now the last lap was quite good. A 146.8. Again, this is I think the only lap so far that I've done that have gone under a 147 during an actual race. So really showing signs of improvement as this race goes on. But we lose a little time again on the McLaren. Admittedly, I had not been taking the last turn the best. Same with the first turn. I tend to go in a little bit deep. It's a tricky one to get to apex just right, but there's just so much time to gain off of that one turn. So something to definitely practice in the future. I think with some of the things I can see in this race, I think I'm looking at, I think realistically a high, a 145.9, which would be great. But as you can see, position, you got, looks like maybe a back marker there, but P8 for sure within reach. McLaren ahead has caught up, and that's good news for me, because the more they duke it out, the closer I get to them, and hopefully take advantage of that. McLaren goes very wide there. He's going to lose. Actually, he's going to hold his he's going to hold his pace through that turn pretty good, but he is not going to get the job done on that turn, and hopefully we get a good run on him again. Again, he's been running really wide, so I think one of these turns I'm going to get a great opportunity to pass him, and it's actually going to be right here. We're going to get through him, through there, and we're going to be on the Porsche now. As you can see at the top of the screen, we've only got 5 seconds race and official race time, so we're going to only have one more lap after this these last two turns. And let's see if we can take P8 from this Porsche. McLaren falling behind a little bit, but he's not out of the picture yet. The more we battle, might need to think about defending a bit too. But we take that turn a little too much, go a little bit too far into the curb there, which you don't want to do, and that's going to unfortunately keep me off of the Porsche's back. But as much as I want to beat this Porsche here too, it's important to realize that you've done a lot of good things in this race, and it'd be a real shame if you screw something up like that and ruin this this recovery that I have going. So let's just make sure that we get through that chicane just right. And as you can see, I had a run on him, but I'm not going to challenge him with the chicane. It's way too dangerous. Something that I learned my lesson very quickly, and so we're going to live to fight again another day. But with me on the back of this Porsche here, and he is kind of driving defensively a little bit, covering the inside, it's allowing the McLaren behind to get back into the picture, and he's going to go for it on the inside of me as I kind of lose where I was on the side of the Porsche there, and he's going to race me. A little bit of a drag race here. I do get past him a little bit, but I'm afraid that he's not going to be on the brakes very well, just because he's been getting so deep in the turn. So I gave him room. I can just hold my line. We make a little bit of contact, but I needed the space here. No, there's a one of the cars, top 10 cars, panicking. He must have wrecked and trying to re-enter on the track. Not safe. Probably should have stayed still, but that's going to knock me away from the Porsche here. Just happy to get through there, completely honest. But We're going to take P8 in this race. We went from P13, fell to the back of the pack on the first lap, and we recovered all the way to P8. And that was just through consistent driving and making sure that I brought the car home. So I hope that it's a great visual representation for all the drivers who are looking to get better. And, you know, just doing the little things sometimes is all you need to have a good race. So, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.